Welcome to the Cracking On podcast with Sarah Roberts
and Sam Frost. This podcast is all about life's big, messy moments and how you just got to crack on with it. You may know today's guest from McLeod's Daughters, Upper Middle Bogan, and she's now appearing in Blue Murder Motel. Or, you know, you can probably catch her on like the 90-plus productions she's worked on since she was literally like 5.
She's also just become a writer, a director, and an intimacy coordinator. In this episode, we talk about grief, reinvention, and what it means to give yourself permission to do the work that you actually want to do.
Please welcome our beautiful guest, Michala Banas. So firstly, you wrote Packed Away. It's a short film that is airing at Flickerfest, and your dad stars in it. The short film is all about grief and masking grief, and Sarah and I sat there afterwards just in shock.
Yeah.
How wild it is that you filmed this and wrote it, and then your dad passed away. Can you talk?
Wild.
Can you talk about that? Like, look
Wild.
at my arms. I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
It is wild.
It is wild. It's a weird old life is a weird old thing sometimes.
Oh, it's crazy.
I think I made the film for sort of 2 reasons. One, my best friend had passed away a couple of years ago now, but I didn't, I was navigating grief in a new way that I'd never really experienced. I'd lost grandparents and things like that, but not someone, she was like my sister. We'd had 35 years of friendship. And so it was a new kind of territory for me. I didn't know what to do with it. So that was one element of making this film. And the other element was I'd always wanted to make something with my dad. My father was an actor when I was born, obviously before that, and then became a director and writer, mostly screen. And I had been intimacy coordinating for ages at that stage and was missing acting. And I rang him up and was like, I'm missing acting. Do you ever miss acting? And he said, all the time. And I went, and I didn't expect that response from him. And I went, oh, wow, okay. And then we finished our conversation and I hung up and I said to my husband, Toby, I really want to make something with Dad. Like, imagine, we get to act together. That would be so cute.
So beautiful.
I just want to make a little thing that's ours,
Yes.
And that was the kind of, those 2 things were the sort of impetus behind it. And then I dreamed the film, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, well, I sort of had all these weird things came together. My best friend's family were getting rid of her clothes, and I had a sort of feeling about that. I was sort of wanting a couple of items and a bit, about her clothes, weirdly.
Yeah.
My husband had said to me something about clowns and we were moving and packing, so there were boxes everywhere. So all of those sort of 3 elements, the clothes, the boxes, the clown, I don't want to spoil the film for people, but they all sort of came to me in this dream. I got up and I wrote it in about 15 minutes, just bashed it out. And I had this gut instinct to contact Finn Sampson, who was my co-director on the film. We directed together. So I've got this idea. He said, send it to me. And he called me like 10 minutes after he got the script and was like, my grandfather's dying right now.
Whoa.
I'm going through this in a weird way myself. This is meant to happen.
Yes.
And so we made the film. And then, a couple of months ago, my dad passed away very unexpectedly. He was not unwell. It was a big shock, still is a big shock. How incredible I got to make this thing. I wanted to make just a thing for us, knowing one day I would want to watch it back, not thinking that would happen so soon. Absolutely never thought. He was very healthy, very well, very vibrant person. And so for him to die was like, what?
Yeah.
But now I have this beautiful little memento, I guess, keepsake, very special keepsake of him and I. And it was his last performance. And he never got to see it, unfortunately. But yeah.
Oh, look, my arms.
That's the only thing.
I'm covered in goosebumps. I think Sarah and I talk about these things all the time. Both of us have experienced grief very close to us.
It's tough.
It's one of the hardest things to go through. And then, as we said, we sat there after we watched it just in shock that you had that experience afterwards. And sometimes I think I would be curious to know your thoughts as someone who is creative, you're writing, and do you think, this might be a bit wah-wah, and I love
I'm all about wah-wah.
Let's go wah-wah. Let's do it.
When I walked in the room, there's sunflowers here. And my favourite photo of my father is him in a field of sunflowers. And I was like, oh, Dad's here.
Yes.
I saw a big thing of sunflowers this morning and I stopped and took a photo of it because I went, oh, Dad's with me. You're like, hello.
Beautiful. But the thing that we can't get past things like, I'll share my example and then I would love to know if your thoughts on it, right? So just before my stepdad raised me and then he suddenly passed away, like just super. Anyway.
I'm sorry. Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
We have this video of him and he was saying things in it and he didn't know he was very well and he didn't know that he was going to pass. And he's like, no matter what happens in life, I promise you I'm always with you. And he goes, it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what it is, I promise I'm always there. And that's our last little capsule of him. And we're like,
I'm
what?
only laughing because, like, yeah,
and
of
then
course.
I got inspired for some bloody reason to write him this long-ass letter saying how thankful I am for him. And I was like, I know I was a piece of shit teen.
We all were. Come on.
And I was like, so sorry. And I was like, the person my sister and I are today is all thanks to you. And like and then like he died and we're like,
wow. So he got that. You got to give him.
I got to give him the letter.
Wow. Yes.
And then we have this time capsule video of him saying that, and you just go,
God.
what?
Yeah, wild. So here's a weird one.
Love it.
Sadly, 2 weeks before my father passed away, his mother, my grandmother, passed away at 98.
Oh,
incredible,
Michaela,
incredible. But she passed away and he went to New Zealand, which is where I'm from, where he grew up, to say goodbye to her. He got to say goodbye to her and then help with the funeral arrangements. And I spoke to him a few times and he was in a really like, Dad's pretty busy. He's a bit like me, like stuff going on and he was high energy. And he was really peaceful. And I had some really nice FaceTime conversations with him because I was filming and I couldn't attend my grandmother's funeral and I was really, really fucking devastated that I couldn't be there for him and be there to say goodbye myself. But, of course, he works in our industry and understood. And it was not a problem and I felt very okay that he was okay and the rest of my siblings were there. And the following day after her funeral, I had been filming the day of her funeral. He called me and I had slept in and missed his call and there's a voicemail from him that is really beautiful that says, just calling to say, and my dad's, mid-70s English, not so much one to, express himself. Got better as he got older, but he was like, I love you. Please don't worry that you weren't here. You were with us in spirit. Just this really beautiful voice message. And I was like, I just want to say I love you, I love you, I love you, like a bunch of times and hung up. And I got this voicemail and I went, and I emailed it to myself, which I have never done. And I don't know why the fuck I did it.
Yeah.
But I did it. It's the last voicemail he ever left me. I had no reason to, but I just went, that's beautiful. I'll want that one day.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, these phone calls, yeah.
Isn't that crazy? I don't know what the word is for that.
I don't know what it is either.
There should
it's something
be
supernatural.
some magical. Well,
it's magic.
There's a reason there's not a word for it because it's so untenable. And a bunch of little things. He didn't know he was going to pass away.
Yes, this is
He had
the
a pulmonary embolism, like this was not a thing. He was like, I think maybe. But he also did a couple of other things that were like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's so fresh and raw. But do you feel him around at the moment? Like I know you have spoken about sunflowers, and are there any ways that you've been working through your grief or remembering your father through?
It's so funny. I fluctuate, I think that's part of grief. Sometimes
absolutely.
I'm like, this is a sign and he's with me. And other times I'm like, fuck this. He's not here. This is bullshit. They're not signs.
Yeah.
This is a lie. I'm making this up to make myself feel better, and I swing. I just swing from one to the other. But then, I was, I caught up with a friend and it was quite soon after his passing and she said, can I take you out for lunch? Are you up for that? And I said, yeah, okay. And she's a big believer. Rebecca Gibney, beautiful human being.
Love Rebecca
How
Gibney.
can you not? She's one of the best human beings. She contacted me every day for weeks after his passing.
That's what you
really, and said, don't reply. I'm just checking in. I'm thinking about you. Anyway, she's a big believer in that he's with me and that people who pass, they're there with you in one way or another. And we were going out for lunch and I'd been talking about him and I was just like, I don't know, I just need something. I'm desperate. She's like, it'll come. And I said, let's walk to lunch. And we walked down the street and a 10 or 11-year-old boy was walking towards us with like a big tray of lollipops. And he was like, do you want a lollipop? And I said, what are you selling them for? Like I thought it was a charity thing. He said, no, I'm just giving them to people.
Oh
and I went, that's sweet. He's like, would you like one? And I said, that's a really kind thing to do. And I could see, I think it was his mum just sort of hanging back behind him. I said, I'd love one. And he gave one to me and he gave one to Beck. I said, is it okay if I give you can I give you a hug? Is that all right? He's like, yeah. Gives me this hug and I smiled at his mum and she smiled. And he walked away and there was a little thing stuck to the lollipop. Beck looked at hers and said, she goes, have a nice day. And mine, and I'd just been banging on about how I wasn't coping, And I was like, that's so sweet. And I looked at mine and said, you have totally got this.
Yay.
And she went, and Beck looked at it and went, Michaela, I looked at that tray and every single one of the stickers said, have a nice day.
Wow.
But you got this one,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I've been filming in Queenstown the last month or so, and I'll be back and forth for the next couple of months. I've been filming a show called A Remarkable Place to Die down there, which my father wrote. But I was down there. My dream has always been to go to the Northern Lights, and I was down there very recently, and there was a little thing saying, you'll be able to see the Aurora Australis tonight if you have a little look around. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. And we'd been on night shoot. And I was tired, but my body clock was sort of late. And I ended up popping my head out at about 1 a.m. and went, I see something. And I took a chair out and I ended up sitting out there for over an hour while the entire sky went green and purple and pink and rippled above me and like it looked like spotlights shooting up into the sky. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
No.
That's incredible.
And then I saw 2 shooting stars. I think I saw 2 more out of the corner of my eye, but I definitely saw 2. And I just cried and cried and cried. And if nothing else, I just thought I wouldn't be here in this very spot at this very point in time if it wasn't for Dad.
Yeah.
Isn't that nuts?
Him writing this show, me ending up playing this character. I auditioned to play this character and then it was last season, I just did a guestie and then they brought her back because they liked her so much. Like I just wouldn't have been awake at that hour.
Yeah.
Sitting out and like I just poked my head out and I thought, I don't know. At least I know I wouldn't have witnessed something like that if it wasn't for him.
I believe that they guide us constantly. And, it's been a fair few years since we've lost our special people and always you feel them. Sometimes you have moments where you're like, I haven't felt you for a while and then something will happen and you just go, oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah.
It never goes away, which I think is really special.
Yeah.
And you don't want it to, but it hurts. Yeah. But then it's like a nice hurt.
Yeah, my husband said that. My husband lost his dad 12 years ago now and I just have been going, when is it not going to hurt?
Oh.
And he said, it's just a different kind. You'll smile at the memory of them instead of feeling this. But for me, it's still shock and complete heartbreak.
Someone described it to me as the tax you pay for loving someone so much. And that really resonated with me because every time when I felt like I was like in the depths of it, if I thought about it just being love, I was like, wow, like all this salt that's pouring from my eyeballs, it's just love. It's all the love I had for my brother.
And I've started to realise I kept apologising and I'm like, oh, no, I'm not apologising for grief and love. Like they're intertwined and if I end up in tears today, that's good. And I'm learning a lot about myself and I'm learning a lot about love and I'm learning a lot about grief and life and it's sort of it's overwhelming, but it's hard, but it's beautiful. It's so many things at once. It's wild.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the way you described it before, like a swing, was a brilliant description. Because sometimes for me it felt like waves, like you're just in waves, like, and the wave was going to take you out, and then you come back up and you're okay for a little bit, and then you go back down, or like someone else described it to me as wearing a cape.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just want to hide behind the cape, and then other times it feels like it's all sparkly and shiny, and you can conquer the world.
Super powered.
Yeah. Or sometimes you want to just whip people in the face with it because you're so fucking angry.
Yeah.
You just don't understand why these things have happened.
I think I will say, for anyone else that's going through grief, the one thing I heard recently, and I went, oh, yeah, is whatever you run from chases you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so I've really kind of leaned into it and allowing it.
Yeah.
And I think that's true for any kind of stuff that you're going through, whether it's grief or breakup or depression. I mean, you know, it's very complicated stuff out there. But the more you face and lean into, somehow the easier it feels a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to run from it because I think that's not good for me.
It'll catch up to you. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Can you share one of your favourite memories with you and your dad?
Oh, I love this.
The beautiful thing about the film I made is that I recreated childhood memories, things that he did. A lot of kids called him Magic John when we were kids, and he would do little magic tricks and things like that. So I've recreated them in the film. That people won't know that, but that's kind of why I made it. It was like, Dad, do all the things that you used to do when we were little.
Yeah. How great you got to relive that again, like go back to being little Michaela with your dad.
I have so many good memories with him. I grew up with my dad. My parents broke up when I was 4, and I lived with my dad the whole time. I never lived with my mum after that. So I have an amazing relationship with my mum, and she's an incredible person. And but it's a very unique sort of circumstance, I think. I got to take him to the Helpman Awards when I won a Helpman Award.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And Kate Blanchett came over and like hugged me, and he was like, Dad's never like, he wasn't starstruck, but he wasn't one to say, I'm proud of you, well done.
Wow.
I knew it, I could feel it. But he looked at me, he went, this is a big deal. And I went,
Thanks, Dad.
I was like, I know, like I was freaking out. But because we both worked in this industry, and that was our connecting point, was work and where we were at and what we were doing. And so I think whilst it feels egotistical and a little bit, the award wasn't so much winning an award, it was this moment of recognition that he could celebrate that with me. It was really cool.
Yeah, that's really special.
Yeah.
Is that how you got into acting? Through your dad? Like, were you inspired to act? Or
I think so. He was running a theatre when I was born. He was the artistic director and running a little theatre in Wellington called Downstage Theatre. So we grew up backstage in the theatre, in the workshop. You know, the smell of sawdust to me is a workshop, theatre workshop, you know what I mean? So I think there was, we were around the theatre from birth for me. And then, of course, I did my first feature film when I was 5, and
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so young. Most 5-year-olds are like, I don't know what colour it is.
was that your very first acting job?
Technically, no.
Before you started working before you were 5?
My first acting job, I was in a television commercial when I was 1.5. 2, maybe nearly 2.
A baby star.
I was dressed as a Kiwi because it was New Zealand and it was a political campaign ad, and my brother was in the ad with me. But I don't know that counts. But it was a professional television commercial. But my first feature film when I was 5, and I remember Dad asking me if I wanted to do it and telling me I didn't have to if I didn't want to, sort of thing. I remember him really being kind of like giving me real autonomy over those sort of things, because I think he was like, you don't have to be an actor. There's no money. This is, there are better things you could do. But I remember going, oh, no, I really want to. And it was a full-on film. I had a gun pointed at my head. I got tied up, abducted,
Well, that's pretty traumatic for
Yeah. But I knew I was pretending. It was like I was having a ball.
Oh, yeah, great.
And the woman who played my mother in that film, I'm still I'm reconnected with and in contact with, 40 plus years later.
Great.
But
that's so cool.
Yeah, I think him being in the industry certainly gave me access to it, and I understood that it was something you could have as a job, because a lot of my mates who are actors are like, I didn't even know you could do that as a job till XYZ, So it was never like a thing we were made to do. It was accessible to us, but certainly not pushed on us in any way.
And when did you realise you could make people laugh? Because you are hilarious.
So funny.
You have brilliant comedic timing. And like we were absolutely cracking up. Obviously, you've been a household name forever. But like when did you go, I make people laugh. I'm pretty good at this.
I was definitely, I think at school, maybe at school, I was definitely the class clown, kind of typical silly idiot kid. I don't really remember a moment. And I don't really remember a moment going, I want to be an actor, because I sort of always just did it.
You always were.
Kind of. I was so young when I was working and doing that for a living. I just remember knowing I never wanted to stop doing that. And I still, wake up when I'm going to work. I'm excited. Like I still feel like that, honestly. And I don't take it for granted. I'm so grateful that I get to do what I love. I know a lot of people don't get the opportunity to do what we do. And so I do try to sit in a place of gratitude and acknowledge that for the last 25 years I haven't had a normal job. Like that's pretty amazing. But I just always knew that's what I wanted to do.
We obviously love upper middle Bogan. Who doesn't? Me too. I'm so curious when it comes to comedy shows. Like, do you get much improv in, or is it all pretty much scripted?
Depends. They're always different. Upper middle Bogan was very scripted.
Oh.
Word perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
So all those C-bombs and all of them were
written. Yep.
Written?
Yes. She was. That was it. It's good writing.
How fun that you got to
good
play
writing. That show's really well written. Some shows there's a lot of improv. It really just depends. With that particular show, I mean, comedy's rhythm and timing, obviously, but scripted comedy is really, if it's written well, there's a specific rhythm to things. And so adding words and changing things can mess with the rhythm and can mess with the comedy. What they did a lot on that show was let us keep going at the end of the scene.
Great.
So there was an element of us playing and mucking around, but I always wrecked it because I always laughed.
Really?
It was Glenn Robbins most of the time doing something. I'm like, I can't. You're the funniest person. He was amazing, actually, because I grew up watching Glenn Robbins.
He's the best.
He's incredible. And I remember sitting there, we had a 2-week rehearsal period with that show as well, just creating the family dynamic and finding out the tone and all those really key things, which I think is why it worked so well, because we shot it really fast. But I remember sitting next to him, one of my complete comedy idols, at the table on the first day, and we were reading all the episodes. And during the audition process, the note that kept coming through was, we want Amber, my character, to be warm because she's really harsh. Be warm, be warm, be warm. So I was trying to sort of soften her a bit and warm her up and like make her not so harsh. And I was like, I don't know if this is working. And I said to him, is this working? I don't like, can you like, what do you reckon? Like I was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to ask him. He's like, do you really want my opinion? I'm like, yes, 100%. And he said, can I tell you, I think you're a really warm person naturally. That's going to shine through no matter what. So just put your foot on the accelerator.
Isn't that great advice?
And
That's a fun note.
And because I hadn't quite found her, I was trying to make her nice. He's like, and warm. And he's like, you are really beautiful compliment. You're really warm. It's in there. Just go for it. And so then I just went, boom. And she was there. And he's like,
you've hit it.
And they were like, there she is. And I'm like, oh, there she is. I don't have to play warm. I just let my warmth come through and just go, back you, and bang, 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 bang. And I actually realised that my approach to every character I play, even ones like her that people consider a bitch or, harsh, I always look for love. Like, where's the love? And she loved her family so fiercely. It came out in this way. But if the love's there, people will go, I fucking love her.
Yeah.
And people go, that's my auntie or that's my sister. And that's the biggest compliment,
Totally. I think we've all got a bit of Amber Wheeler in us. So I certainly do anyway.
Well, yeah.
Oh, she wasn't far from the surface, mate. Trust. But
I want to know, okay, were the burps scripted? And because you can, from when we watched it, like it seems like you can burp on cue really well.
No.
Did you just have reflux at the time? Or?
I do get reflux, but I can't. Not on cue, babe.
I try to hide it on the mic. I'm like, I try to cover
I get reflux.
I
get reflux a lot, but not on cue. obviously not bad at faking a burp. I
Sure.
would make the face and do the the movements. But the actual burps, we once in an afternoon, the entire crew at lunchtime got big bottles of soft drink. And they just held a mic out and everyone took turns.
That is brilliant.
And so they just, I'm not joking, and they just grabbed all these burps. And so I'd go like that and they'd put the sound in.
That's brilliant. Because we were practicing at home. We were like, we could only do like little ones.
No, I can't fake. But some people can just swallow air and do it. I can't do it. No, hopeless.
That is so clever.
So I'm just faking the appearance of a burp and they put the sound in and they were all pretty much scripted. But that is actually how I got the job. Because tell us how you got the job. Let me go in my chair. Initially, I got the script and initially they wanted me to audition for Annie Maynard's character, Bess, who is the lead of the show, the anaesthetist who was adopted. They wanted me to audition for that role. And I said, and I read the script and I was like, I really want to be Amber. And I was like, can I audition for that? And they went, no, we just want to see you for this one. I just kept getting feedback that might have been cast or that was off the table. And so the day of my audition, I've never done this before and haven't done it since, but I rang my agent. I was dressed. I'd learned all the lines. I was dressed like an anaesthetist. And I rang my agent and I said, I don't think I should go in. And she went, what? And I went, I really want to play Amber. And she was like, we've come back around this. We've circled around this a few times. Not going to happen. And I said, I think if they see me play Bess, they won't think I'll be able to do Amber.
Great.
And she said, well, but that role might be gone. And I went, I just have this feeling that I shouldn't do it. And she went, okay, I'll call casting and tell them you're not coming in. And I was like, okay, bye. And I hung up the phone and was like, and freaked out. And I get this email saying, and this is 2 months later, and I thought it's gone, it's over, I've missed out, an email going, would you like to put a self-tape down for Amber? And I did. And I remember when I read the script 2 or 3 months prior that she had burped, but there was no burp in the audition scene.
Oh, good one.
But I popped one in.
Oh, yeah.
And Robin and Wayne, who created the show, said they watched my audition. The second they saw me burp, they were like, well, there she is.
That is so good.
Something about, actors are always like, how do you make it more interesting? I'm like, you can't just do something random. It has to be true to who this person is. It has to be true to the story. So even though there was no burp scripted, I put it in because I knew from reading the full script that that's what she did. So I went, well, that's who she is. That's where she sits. And that's what kind of got me across the line.
Yeah. And it also goes to show the importance of trusting your intuition.
100%. 100%. I really, for a brief moment, regretted that decision and look at what happened,
Yeah,
So
you advocated for yourself. Well, and actually you do that now too with intimacy coordinating for other actors.
Yeah, a little bit. I've stepped away from intimacy coordinating over the last year because I've pleasantly been very busy as an actor and now there are a lot of really great intimacy coordinator practitioners around. I was the second person in the country to become an intimacy coordinator when I did it nearly 7 years ago. So I sort of helped integrate it into the industry here, which I'm really proud to be a part of. And now that there's so many great practitioners, I go, well, that's okay. I can step away from it and look at, directing and writing and performing and yes, do that still sometimes. But that's been a goodie. It's been a really big shift in our industry, I think. Important.
I was saying to Sarah, I remember a time where I was really creeped out. I was really uncomfortable with this person. And the director instead said, Sam, just have fun with it. And I was like, but I
don't feel comfortable to have fun with this person.
And I just remember being like, okay.
Without revealing anything you don't want to reveal, could you pinpoint what it was that made you uncomfortable, or it was just a general feeling?
It was just a general feeling. And I'd been I'd had intimate scenes with other cast members before and felt totally comfortable. It was just this particular person.
Yeah.
But I just remember the feedback being not helpful whatsoever. Instead, it made me freeze up more. And, if we had an intimacy coordinator, I think that would be super helpful. But yeah, and you've had experiences. Is that why you decided to do it, or?
It was just one of those things where they brought Ita O'Brien, who's one of the founders of the workout from the UK, back in 2018. And I saw that she was holding a seminar and I went, what is that? Yeah, like legit. And I was like, I want to see what this is about. And when she sort of said, I'm like a stunt or fight coordinator, but for intimate scenes, I went, oh my God, why have we not had this?
Yeah.
And so then me being the mouth that I am went back to the union and was like, we need this. Ah! And then they ended up saying, well, she thinks you'd be great and we've got sponsorship for you to go to the UK and train with her. And I was like, well, no, I didn't mean me. I just mean people. So we need, but, shut up and, put your money where your mouth is a bit. But yeah, in my 20s, I remember being on a show called Always Greener and we were shooting the pilot and my character was sassy, wore a lot of very skimpy clothing, which I was totally fine about. I was comfortable in my body in that way. But I had to, in the pilot, be making out with my boyfriend in the car and then get out. The camera would follow me. You couldn't quite see him. They hadn't cast him because this was the only scene with the boyfriend in the pilot. So they just got an extra on the day, just grabbed a guy, this poor guy, and put him in the car and just said, so you guys make out and then you get out of the car. And he looked terrified, of course. And I was like, hi, I'm Michaela. How are you? I don't remember this poor boy's name. And he was like, how do we, what do we do? And I went, we'll just put our mouths together and move our heads around. Keep your tongue in your mouth. I'll keep my tongue in my, but I sort of had to tell him how to do a screen kiss. Yeah. And he was like, okay. And I was like, are you okay? He's like, I just haven't done that. And I said, I'm sorry. No one came and spoke to him. It was just awkward.
Yeah. And he probably thought he's just walking in the back of shot and now he's kissing you in a car.
Kissing the lead, one of the leads and what is this? And, and everyone's looking at him and he's expected to know what to do. And that's not actually his role or his job or his little uncomfortable things like that. Lots of those. Fortunately, nothing traumatic, but a lot of people have had some very difficult, uncomfortable, traumatic experiences. Some people have never worked after, There's famous stories of people who have had really traumatic experiences on set and never worked again.
Yeah, wow.
So whilst, most of them are just uncomfortable, we just don't, it's a workplace. We just want everyone to be comfortable.
Yeah, that's right.
We're comfortable. We want to make sure no one's going to get hurt in a fight scene. Let's make sure no one is uncomfortable or hurt in any way, shape or form in an intimate scene.
Absolutely. Have you had much pushback from directors when you've been working with them on sets?
Not really. Not really. I think my experience has been varied. When it works and it's embraced and it's used well, it's wonderful. The pushback is sometimes from performers and sometimes the pushback, there's not overt pushback, but there's a lot of box ticking that happens. So you get hired to sit and police. They think an intimacy coordinator sits on set and polices everyone. Mm-hmm. I'm like, no, I'm a choreographer. It's not, I need rehearsal. I need to, so it's still sometimes misunderstood and misrepresented, which is frustrating.
If you come into a situation where two actors, one actor is really keen to have an intimacy coordinator and one isn't, is that how you sort of work through that with them?
You go for the, safest option. And so if someone wants support, they get support. And I've, one of my first jobs, I worked with a very famous American actor and he was like, I don't need it. And the actress wanted it. And so I supported her as best I could. He did not want to engage with me.
Wow. What is with that?
Yeah.
That's so tricky.
It was tricky and it was uncomfortable and I did the best I could. I was just so new to it and I didn't have the support I needed from the director either. So it was a really difficult situation. So all I could do was the best that I could do in the situation, which was support the actor who did want me there and try to engage as much as I could with the person who didn't want to engage with me, but be present and be available to the other person. Sometimes it's really difficult.
Yeah, it's crazy because you're right. When you do stunt scenes, it's not like one actor can say, oh, I'm going to punch and the other person doesn't want to be involved. It's choreography and it's like a dance.
Well, you don't punch each other in the face.
No, absolutely.
So why are we going, we'll just figure it out. You wouldn't give two actors a sword each. You go, off you go, guys, and action. Action, we'll be over here. You're not going to do that. It's unsafe because we don't want anyone physically hurt because then they can't do their job. Why do we allow people to be emotionally or mentally or physically hurt in intimate content? So some of the pushback as well is, it kills the spontaneity and this and that. I'm like, well, there's no spontaneity in a fight scene.
Yes.
Right? We can't because it's unsafe. But you can be spontaneous We can do a totally improvised scene, intimate scene, if you know what the boundaries are, if you know what the parameters are. So we just have to establish that, and then it's go to town.
Yeah.
Knowing that the other person is comfortable with what you're doing and vice versa. Because so often we go, oh, I'm happy, you do whatever you want. Well, because my husband gets that one a lot because he's so lovely and he's so easy to work with. So a lot of women used to say, oh, you can do whatever you want, I'm fine. And he's like, well, then I have to make all the decisions.
Yeah.
And I'm, it's just so uncomfortable. So have a conversation, work it out. Yeah. And if you want to improvise and have spontaneity, we can still do that. So we're not killing spontaneity. We're just giving it boundaries.
That's right.
And sometimes people do want to push themselves outside their boundaries. I worked on a film with a very famous actress and had a meeting where the producer said she won't do any nudity. We're fine with that, but there are shower scenes, there is intimate content and sex scenes, so whatever she wants to wear is fine. She had never worked with an intimacy coordinator before, which was surprising to me considering how well known she is and how much she had worked. I had a Zoom meeting with her and she went, oh my God, if you're going to be there, great. She went topless. She did full nudity because I was there and she felt supported and safe and suddenly free to do that. And that's what the character would do. And she'd never really done that stuff before because not given a situation where she felt like I can just have the freedom to step into this role in that way. It was very cool.
Do you have some crazy audition stories of any fails or
we love audition
crazy
bombs.
Jobs that we've got a few crazy jobs that we did that we could bring up. You tell us yours first.
No, I want to hear yours.
Okay, you want to hear mine? Okay.
This is great.
I used to have to dress up as I guess characters, but the type of characters that don't usually show their face, like suit work.
Like
I
a
did
mascot.
suit work.
Yes,
like a mascot, I guess.
Yeah.
And so sexy.
The stinky suits.
Oh, yeah,
That's all I hear is
they smell great. They smell great. So this one job that I did, I was working for Coles and I was doing this with my best mate at the time. So we really wanted to be together. So I was like, I'm going to be the S because my name's Sarah. So I had my face sticking out of an S and my hands like waddling. I couldn't walk properly. No. Couldn't hide either. And she was the E so that we could hang out together.
Yeah.
And we were waddling around Coles dressed as the E and the S, and then an ex-boyfriend walked in.
Awesome.
And I couldn't hide. And I was like, wow, really made it in life. Really made it.
Like when you see an ex, you like want to look hot and you like want to look the best version. You're like, I'm a fucking ex. Like, are you kidding me?
It's always the way.
And I was like, yeah, I'm an actor. He was like, oh, what do you do for work? And I was like, I'm an actor. And I was just the S at Coles.
I didn't realise you were just a supermarket mascot.
When I was a teenager, I had some job. I got fired from Toys R Us.
Why?
Because they gave me the price tag gun and my job was to go down this aisle and price tag everything. And I'm like, that's pretty boring. So I'm going to try something else. And so I did moon hopper races with all the kids up and down the aisles. Do you know those inflatable balls with the ears on it? Like, yes. Just fanging it up and down. Moon hopper races with heaps of kids. I got heaps of kids involved. And was fired for it. And I was like, but I'm selling the product because kids were like, Mom, I want one of these because I thought I was doing a real service for the company, but they didn't see it that way. So things like that where I was like, oh, okay. But then I've done embarrassing auditions. I crawled around on the floor pretending I was getting in a bath for a commercial. They didn't even have props. I just was like, hey, just pretending I was in a bath, like on the floor. I'm like, this looks ridiculous.
It's a good ab workout.
Ridiculous. I look ridiculous. I also did a lot of reading for a show that had a lot of intimacy in it, and like you would walk in the room and there was a mattress on the floor, and I was the reader with all these men, like half on top of me, just crazy stuff.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Wild. You
would have so many non-PC stories to tell because you've been in the industry for a
I'm
really
also
long
super
time.
non-PC.
Yeah,
I've got a mate who found out I was an intimacy coordinator and was like, you are the most inappropriate person. I was like, mate, you should see me when I put the intimacy coordinator hat on. Very different part of me comes out.
One thing that we love asking all of our guests here is something what is something that really cracks you up? What's something that makes you laugh?
Fart noises. Not the smell. I can't. I don't want to.
What? Fart noise? Really?
Yeah. If you played a fart noise or if one of you farted right now and I could hear, forget it.
Really? That is
they're funny. Farts are funny.
It is so funny because
Are they not?
I often
imagine if I just that'd be great, wouldn't it? It's so human. I think. Like everyone does it. My husband makes me laugh too. I should have started with him.
Fart noises.
My husband makes me laugh. We make each other laugh a lot. We are such idiots. We're such idiots together. It's the best. So he makes me laugh. And if I can make him laugh, that's the best. Like, I feel like I've won the lottery. But farts also make me laugh. Such a great.
I love it so much. Okay, something else we do on this show.
We finish it up with a fortune cookie to crack open and it's going to predict your future.
Oh, bloody hell.
They're
what
very
if I
accurate.
want to rummage round to the bottom?
You can.
Go for
Then
it.
my little gross, my hands are
No,
clean.
it doesn't matter.
Dig deep.
It's fine.
If it says you've totally got this, I'm going to expire. Oh, my God, I'm going to need my glasses. I'm an old blind woman. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. 142 37 36 36 12, guys. Lot of numbers. Get out.
There you go.
Thank you so much, Michaela, for coming
I
in. We
could
love
talk
you.
to the two
Thank
of you
for being
forever.
vulnerable.
I
and
love you
warm.
both.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
love you.
Thanks.
And we're excited for you.
Thanks. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.